dreams, but at your mornings, because the first hour of your day is silently shaping the rest of your destiny. If your morning is weak, your mind becomes weak. If your morning is chaotic, your thoughts become chaotic. But if your morning is disciplined, your entire life begins to rise. Most people wake up already defeated. They open their eyes and immediately open the door to distraction, phone, notification, noise, stress. Before they even stand up, their mind is already controlled by the world. This is not freedom. This is conditioning. And if you want to rewire your mind, the first battle must be won each morning. Rule 1. Wake up with intention, not with impulse. Do not jump out of bed like you are escaping your life. Sit in stillness. Breathe. Feel your body. Remind yourself. Today is another opportunity to become stronger than yesterday. The mind that begins the day consciously becomes a mind that cannot be easily broken. Rule 2. Do not touch your phone for the first hour. The moment you consume other people's thoughts, you lose connection with your own. Your mind is most powerful when it is quiet. Protect this silence. Guard it fiercely. This is where clarity is built. Rule 3. Make your bed, not because of cleanliness, but because discipline in small things creates mastery. In big things, you train your brain to finish what you start. You teach yourself respect for your environment, and slowly, you build inner order. Rule 4. Move your body before you feed your mind. Stretch, walk, exercise, breathe deeply. Your body carries emotional tension. When you move it, you release fear, anxiety, and heaviness. A stagnant body creates a stagnant mind. Rule 5. Drink water in silence. Not scrolling, not rushing, just drinking, feeling, being present. This simple act reconnects you to your physical existence. Awareness begins here. Rule 6. Train your breath. Slow breathing rewires your nervous system. It tells your mind that there is no emergency, that you are safe, that you are in control. The person who controls the breath controls the state of their mind. Rule 7. Speak to yourself with strength, not fake positivity, but grounded truth. Say, I will not waste today. I will not betray my potential. I will walk with discipline, even when I feel resistance. Your inner dialogue becomes your identity. Rule 8. Consume wisdom before entertainment. Read something meaningful. Listen to something that strengthens you. Feed your mind with ideas that elevate you, not distract you. The mind becomes what it repeatedly consumes. Rule 9. Plan your day with purpose. Do not let the world decide your priorities. Choose what matters. Focus on what builds your future. A mind without direction becomes a servant to every distraction. Rule 10. Embrace discomfort early. Cold water, hard exercise, deep focus. Teach your mind that discomfort is not danger. It is growth. This rewires fear into resilience. Rule 11. Eat with awareness, not rushed, not unconscious. Food is not just fuel. It is information for your body and brain. Respect what you consume. Rule 12. Practice gratitude before ambition, not because life is perfect, but because appreciation strengthens the mind. A grateful mind is harder to break. It sees opportunity where others see only struggle. Rule 13. Protect your energy. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every thought deserves your belief. Guard your focus like a warrior guards the gate. Rule 14. Commit to becoming disciplined, not motivated. Motivation is temporary. Discipline becomes identity, and identity shapes destiny. If you follow the rules once, nothing changes. If you follow them for a week, you begin to feel different. If you follow them for a month, your mind becomes sharp. And if you live them for a year, you will no longer recognize the person you used to be, because the morning does not just begin your day, it trains your mind, it sculpts your character, it rewires your identity, and every sunrise becomes a silent question. Will you rise as the same person, or will you rise as someone stronger? Every morning, the world is already trying to steal your mind before you even stand. Notifications, messages, news alerts, and countless demands pour into your awareness like a flood. Most people react instantly, allowing their thoughts to be hijacked by chaos. The first hour of your day is sacred, yet it is surrendered carelessly to distraction. If you want to rewire your mind, you must train yourself to pause, observe, and choose. Discipline begins with refusing to give energy to the uncontrolled. Even a single deliberate act of resistance strengthens the mental circuits of focus. This is the battlefield where winners are made silently and invisibly. The morning is not just the start of your day. It is the foundation of your mind. And that foundation can crumble or solidify based on your choices in those quiet hours. Sitting in stillness before action is the first test of discipline. Do not leap out of bed as if escaping responsibility. Sit, breathe, feel the presence of your body, and acknowledge the dawn. By anchoring yourself in awareness, you declare ownership of your mind. Without this pause, you are already reacting to other people's priorities. Discipline is not a series of actions. It is a state of being. It is the inner strength that allows you to act intentionally, not impulsively. Even one morning ritual performed with precision strengthens your will exponentially. Brain thrives on consistency. Repeated disciplined choices rewire thought patterns. Every moment, you resist the pull of chaos. You wire your mind for mastery. The act of making your bed may seem trivial, yet it is a profound statement. A simple task done with care signals to the mind that small victories matter. It tells the brain that you value order and can complete what you begin. The ripple effect of this simple discipline touches every decision you make. When your surroundings are ordered, your thoughts gain clarity and calmness. Discipline in small actions creates momentum for larger challenges. Chaos cannot dominate a mind trained to respect structure. Even in minor details, your environment is a reflection of your internal state, consciously or unconsciously. Every morning choice either reinforces control or surrenders it. This is the silent power of discipline before distraction. Resisting the urge to reach for your phone is a battlefield of modern times. Each alert, social post, and notification is designed to capture attention, not empower it. The first hour of your day is the most fertile ground for mental programming. If you fill it with chaos, your entire mindset bends toward reaction instead of creation. To resist is not easy. The pull of distraction is strong, cunning, and relentless. Yet every act of refusal strengthens neural pathways for focus and clarity. The mind that controls its attention is the mind that shapes its reality. Start by delaying gratification, honoring the space between awakening and action. This pause is a form of self-respect, a declaration that your mind is not for sale. Discipline protects the most powerful tool you have, your conscious awareness. Discipline is strengthened by structure, not random acts of willpower. A morning ritual is a blueprint for your mind to follow each day. Choose W at actions are sacred and guard them fiercely against interruption. Movement, stillness, focus, and preparation are the pillars of mental fortitude. Chaos is comfortable, but it weakens character and dissolves clarity. Every morning you commit to order, you condition your brain for success. Small, repeated choices become automatic, freeing energy for higher pursuits. Your ability to act intentionally grows with each disciplined habit practiced. The first hour becomes a shield against the chaos of the world. Through discipline, distraction loses its grip, and your mind begins to dominate reality. Silence is a weapon more powerful than any tool in your arsenal. Do not fill the first hour with sound, chatter, or meaningless input. Allow your thoughts to settle like sediment in a clear pond. Observe, reflect, and connect to your inner self before engaging the external. The mind left untrained defaults to external influence, shallow and reactive. By choosing silence, you cultivate the capacity to focus and act with precision. Even 10 minutes of deliberate quiet has the power to recalibrate your day. This is the space where discipline is forged, unseen but unstoppable. Your attention becomes a controlled resource, no longer scattered or stolen. Silence before distraction rewires not just your day, but the architecture of your mind. Consistency transforms discipline into identity. One morning of control does not rewire the mind. Repetition does. Daily practice of order and resist tends to distraction, sculpts resilience. When your mornings are disciplined, your thoughts gain power over circumstance. The smallest decisions compound, creating mental habits that define character. Chaos is easy, but easy produces weakness, indecision, and regret. True power lies in making the conscious choice when no one is watching. Structure builds confidence, focus, and emotional stability from the inside out. Each morning becomes an exercise in mental sovereignty. Discipline is no longer a task. It becomes who you are. The mind thrives on mastery, not indulgence. Giving into distraction early conditions the brain to seek outside stimulation. When you resist, you strengthen your internal circuits of self-control, discipline before. Distraction is the first act of freedom in a world of chaos. Your environment, your habits, your attention, and your body are your allies. When aligned, they create a shield against weakness, doubt, and fear. Even small acts, making your bed, sitting in stillness, breathing consciously, matter. They are the drills that prepare you for challenges too large to imagine. Your mind becomes a fortress when you build it before the world demands it. Discipline is the quiet, unseen power that rewires your brain for greatness. Every morning is an opportunity to start anew. Discipline is not punishment. It is liberation from the tyranny of distraction. It is the conscious act of claiming control over the first moments of your day. The brain that wakes all chaos will live in chaos. The brain that wakes to discipline will thrive in clarity. Order, focus, and intention are not just habits. They are the language of power. Those who master this hour gain an advantage invisible to the untrained eye. Small, consistent victories compound into the foundation of unstoppable strength. Discipline becomes the lens through which you perceive and act upon the world. Your morning shapes not just your day, but your mind, your character, and your destiny. The body is the gateway to the mind. Too often, we treat it as a vessel to carry us through life, not a master of perception. Yet, every thought, every emotion, every decision emerges from the body first. Tension constricts the mind. Movement liberates it. The way you carry yourself in the morning sends signals that echo through your day. A slouched body invites weakness, indecision, and fear. A disciplined posture communicates readiness, focus, and authority. Your body is not separate from your mind. It commands it in ways most never realize. If you want to rewire your thoughts, you must first awaken the body. Energy flows where attention goes, and the body is the conduit for that energy. Movement is the first language of awakening. Stretching, walking, or simple exercise signals to the nervous system that life is beginning. Muscles release tension, joints regain fluidity, and the heart primes itself for action. Without movement, the mind remains sluggish, reactive, and clouded. The body stores emotion. If it is stagnant, so too are the thoughts trapped within. Even a short ritual of motion rewires neural pathways for clarity and focus. Discipline in the body produces discipline in the mind. Those who master this principle move through their day with decisiveness. Those who ignore it stumble, distracted by inertia and lethargy. Movement is not just physical. It is an invitation to mental sharpness. Breath is the secret force that unites body and mind. When you inhale deeply, fully, and consciously, the brain receives a signal of stability. The heart slows, the nervous system balances, and the mind gains control over chaos. Shallow, irregular breathing invites anxiety, fear, and scattered thoughts. The first hour of the day is an opportunity to train the breath to serve, not betray you. Controlled breathing rewires the stress response and strengthens mental resilience. It is not about forcing calm. It is about reclaiming authority over your internal state. Every inhale carries clarity. Every exhale releases doubt and tension. The body becomes a tool for mindfulness, and the mind becomes sharp and alert. Breath is the bridge between potential and action. Posture is the silent communicator of intention. A straight spine, squared shoulders, and grounded stance speak to the mind before thought forms. Your body sends messages to your brain. Readiness, confidence, and self-command. Slouched posture, on the other hand, invites lethargy, indecision, and defeat. Even before words are spoken, the body shapes perception, internally and externally, through posture. You signal to yourself what kind of day you are willing to accept. This is the subtle power most overlook while rushing through the morning. Discipline in the body reinforces discipline. In thought, the body cannot lie. It reflects inner reality. Shape it intentionally, and the mind will follow without resistance. Early movement and breath work activate energy centers that influence emotion. Emotions arise from physiological states, not always from external circumstances. A tense body breeds anxiety. A calm body breeds focus. Through conscious movement, you retrain these emotional triggers. Stretching, walking, or morning exercises are not mere fitness. They are emotional reset buttons. the mind becomes capable of responding instead of reacting. Every posture held with intention rewires the nervous system for stability. The early hours of the day are when these circuits are most malleable. The brain mirrors the state of the body mirrors intention. Master the body first, and the mind's clarity becomes inevitable. Hydration and energy flow are physical extensions of mental discipline. Water consumed deliberately awakens the body at a cellular level. Muscles, organs, and nerves require liquidity to function optimally. A dehydrated body cannot sustain focus or emotional control. Simple rituals: drinking slowly, observing the sensation, train attention alongside the physical act. Energy rises when the body is cared for intentionally. In the morning, the mind mirrors the health of the body and gains strength proportionally. Ignoring the body early guarantees weakness in decision-making later. Discipline of the body is not vanity, it is mental architecture. A strong body produces a strong, unyielding mind. Morning physical rituals create internal momentum for the day. Small victories, like stretching, walking, or mindful movement, compound into massive mental gains. When the body has completed its first triumphs, the mind carries confidence forward. This momentum cannot be simulated by willpower alone. It must be embodied. Muscles that move intentionally teach neural pathways to act intentionally. The discipline of small physical acts prepares the mind for larger challenges. Without this momentum, the mind stumbles, distracted and reactive. Discipline emerges naturally when the body has already set the tone. The first hour is a proving ground, a laboratory for mental conditioning. Treat it with reverence, and your mind becomes unstoppable. The connection between body and mind is not optional. It is fundamental. Thoughts arise from sensations, posture, and energy, not from pure imagination alone. Control the body, and you control the quality of thought. Neglect it, and your mind drifts, pulled by chaos, emotion, and reaction. Every deliberate morning movement strengthens this link between intention and action. The nervous system learns to operate from calm authority rather than fear or tension. Even 10 minutes of conscious bodywork rewires pathways for the entire day. Discipline is born when mind and body move as one, synchronized and purposeful. The body is the instrument, the mind is the musician, and the morning is the stage. Together, they create harmony or dissonance based on the choices you make. Sensory awareness is cultivated through movement and stillness, alike walking, stretching, or mindful exercise. Awakens perception beyond thought. The body experiences detail, the feel of the floor, air in the lungs, the energy in muscles. This attention carries over into decision-making, problem solving, and emotional control. A mind trained through bodily awareness is sharp, responsive, and resilient. Chaos cannot dominate someone attuned to their own physical signals. Movement teaches the brain to notice, respond, and direct attention with precision. The body becomes a sensor for mental clarity and emotional resilience. Every morning that you practice awareness strengthens this internal compass. Discipline of the body is inseparable from discipline of thought. Finally, the body leads the mind by exemplifying immediate feedback. Pain, tension, energy, and ease are signals of internal state, demanding attention. Ignoring these signals is neglecting the mind itself. By observing, moving, and adjusting, you teach responsiveness and resilience. The early hours of discipline condition the entire system, body, mind, and inner joy. Even small, consistent actions in the morning reprogram responses to stress, challenge. The body becomes the first teacher of clarity, focus, and intentional action. Every movement is a dialogue with the mind, a rehearsal for decision and action. The mind cannot surpass what the body has already trained it to achieve. Master the body first, and every thought, emotion, and choice becomes aligned with purpose. Every mind is a garden, and every thought is a seed. What you allow to enter first thing in the morning determines the harvest of your day. Most people wake up and feed their minds with noise, distraction, and influence they did not choose. Social media, messages, and news dictate their emotions before they even think consciously. This is why so many feel powerless, reactive, and overwhelmed. The quality of your input rewires the architecture of your mind over time. Small repeated exposures shape beliefs, thoughts, and emotional responses. Your identity emerges from the content you consume as much as the action you take. Feed your mind consciously, or it will be fed unconsciously by the world. The first moments of awareness are the most fertile, the most potent, and the most defining. Conscious input is not merely about learning or acquiring knowledge. It is about carefully selecting the forces that shape your inner world. Words, ideas, and images are not passive. They impress themselves on the subconscious. The mind begins to imitate, internalize, and believe it encounters repeatedly. Discipline here is invisible, but it is the foundation for unstoppable mental strength. Read or listen to things that expand, challenge, and elevate rather than drain or distract. Even 10 minutes of deliberate exposure can reprogram your emotional and cognitive pathways. Avoid the chatter of the world that feeds fear, doubt, and procrastination. Let your mind drink first from sources that empower, clarify, and strengthen resolve. Your thoughts will follow the trajectory set by your morning inputs. Distraction is the enemy of conscious input. Every ping, alert, or irrelevant notification diverts energy from creation to reaction. Reaction strengthens habit. Habit shapes character. Those who allow distraction the first hour of the day surrender their power before it begins. The brain craves novelty and stimulation, but without discipline, novelty enslaves rather than liberates. By consciously filtering input, you reclaim control over attention and thought patterns. Information consumed without intention rewires the mind toward chaos and indecision. Information chosen intentionally rewires the mind toward mastery and clarity. The first hour sets the tone. The rest of the day merely follows the script written in these moments. Powerful minds do not react. They absorb, filter, and act deliberately. Mental clarity is born from selective feeding of the mind. Avoid noise that triggers reactive emotions or unconscious imitation. Consume material that strengthens perception, creativity, and resilience. The mind learns to recognize what is essential versus what is trivial over time. This builds a self-directed, disciplined mental framework. Emotional reactivity diminishes as clarity and choice expand. Even small daily ritual of conscious reading, listening, or reflection compound into a strong mental foundation. Mind grows sharper when it is nourished consciously rather than overwhelmed indiscriminately. The world offers infinite noise. Discipline creates the boundary for mental power. Your awareness becomes a filter, strengthening not only thought but also identity and intention. Words have a hidden weight. The first words you read, hear, or think each day carry more influence than most realize. Positive, constructive, or thought-provoking material rewires the mind toward resilience and vision. Negative, trivial, or fear-based material rewires the mind toward stress, doubt, and indecision. Discipline in selection is the act of curating your internal environment with precision. Your subconscious does not distinguish between experienced reality and absorbed input. What is fed repeatedly becomes embedded belief. Whether empowering or limiting, morning consumption is thus a powerful programming session for the mind. Choose wisely, for the seeds planted in these hours shape every action, emotion, and decision. Input is not passive. It is a form of mental engineering. Silence before consumption is essential. Do not immediately feed the mind after waking. Pause, breathe, and center yourself. The mind must be a clear vessel, not a sponge, saturated by random noise. A disciplined pause before intake allows conscious selection rather than automatic absorption. This gap creates awareness, the space where intentionality enters thought. Without it, the mind reacts unconsciously to external influence. Even one deliberate pause strengthens neural circuits of focus and control. Your early choice determine which ideas and emotions will dominate the rest of the day. The mind becomes a sculptor's clay, not a reactive puppet. Intentionality in input is the silent power behind mental mastery. Reading, listening, and observing are all forms of input, but quality is paramount. Not all information has equal weight or benefit to your growth. Consume material that challenges complacency, encourages insight, and demands reflection. Avoid content that drains attention, amplifies fear, or encourages distraction. Your brain mirrors the energy and tone of the material you absorb. Positive, Empowering input rewires neural networks for creativity and focus. Negative, chaotic, or mindless input strengthens patterns of worry, procrastination, and confusion. The early hours are the most receptive. Your brain's neuroplasticity is highest. Feed it wisely, and it will serve you faithfully. Neglect it, and you are at the mercy of every external influence. Repetition amplifies the impact of conscious input. Daily exposure to high-quality material builds mental patterns that become automatic over time. Even a short, intentional morning reading or listening session rewires thinking toward discipline and clarity. Your subconscious begins to internalize principles, lessons, and perspectives. Thoughts align with the ideas repeatedly encountered, for better or worse. The power of cumulative input cannot be overstated. Small daily choices compound exponentially. Ignore this, and your mind will default to external chaos. Honor it, and your mental architecture strengthens, sharpens, and expands. Consistency is the hidden multiplier behind the growth of intellect and emotional control. Discipline in input creates the framework for every decision, action, and outcome. The mind is molded by repeated engagement, not intention alone. Random exposure does not create strength. Deliberate selection does. Morning input acts as a sculptor, shaping neural pathways into patterns of resilience, focus, and creativity. Each thought, phrase, or lesson absorbed leaves a trace in the subconscious over weeks and months. These traces form habits of perception, evaluation, and judgment. Your morning intake determines which mental circuits dominate and which fade into neglect. Feed your mind with purpose, and your decisions gain weight, precision, and power. Neglect it, and reactive habits govern the day, the week, and eventually life itself. Your mind becomes a reflection of what you consistently absorb. Conscious consumption rewires it for mastery and clarity. Observation is as important as active consumption. Notice the impact of every input on your emotions, focus, and clarity. Awareness of effect strengthens the ability to choose consciously in the future. Some material lifts, some drains, some confuses. Noticing this is discipline in itself. The first hour is the laboratory where these experiments occur daily. Through reflection, the brain learns to filter, prioritize, and integrate ideas efficiently. Your emotional state mirrors the quality of input received, and control is gained through awareness. Even subtle choices compound into significant shifts in focus, resilience, and creativity. Conscious observation becomes habit, and habit rewires thought patterns. Over time, input is not merely received, it is tested, integrated, and mastered. Finally, conscious input is a declaration of self-ownership. To feed the mind intentionally is to say, will not be shaped by chaos or reaction. I decide what occupies my attention, what thoughts guide my day, and what emotions dominate. Discipline in selection builds sovereignty over thought, emotion, and action. The early hours are the proving ground, the invisible battle where mental power is forged. Your mind becomes resistant to distraction, clear in intention, and strong in focus. Each deliberate choice compounds into identity, character, and destiny. Feed your mind consciously, and it becomes your greatest ally, capable of extraordinary creation. Neglect it, and you inherit weakness, indecision, and chaos. Conscious input is the blueprint for mental mastery, invisible but undeniable. Every action you repeat becomes a thread in the fabric of your identity. The morning is where these threads are first woven in silence and discipline. Those who rise without structure allow their identity to be shaped by chaos. Every habit, no matter how small, signals to the subconscious, this is who I am. Consistency in daily ritual builds a mind that does not waver in the face of adversity. Discipline is not motivation. It is the cement of character. Over time, your body, thoughts, and focus all reflect the habit you honor each day. The person you aspire to become is forged in these small, repeated acts. Ritual is the invisible hand, shaping every decision you make. Every morning, the choice is yours. Chaos or mastery. Ritual transforms intention into reality. Without repeated action, intentions dissolve like mist in sunlight. Daily structure provides a blueprint for the subconscious to follow automatically. Even minor acts, making your bed, drinking water, moving your body, set the tone. These acts signal to the mind that discipline is not optional, it is identity. Identity cannot be willed into existence through thought alone. It must be embodied, lived, and reinforced consistently. Each morning becomes an opportunity to reinforce the narrative of who you are. The brain begins to align beliefs, habits, and emotions with these. Repeat. Add actions. Through ritual, you become the person you envision in quiet moments of focus. Repetition is the silent teacher of the mind. A single act has little power, but repeated action compounds exponentially. The nervous system learns to operate from efficiency, focus, and precision. Your brain begins to expect discipline and respond with clarity and control. Rituals you perform daily create automatic patterns of excellence. Your mind becomes less reliant on motivation and more reliant on identity-driven action. The body, mind, and emotion all synchronize. Through consistent practice, small, deliberate acts repeated over weeks solidify into unshakable mental structures. Identity emerges not in grand declarations, but in the quiet, consistent repetition of ritual. The person you meet in the mirror each morning is the sum of these choices. Morning rituals are a declaration of sovereignty over self. They communicate to the subconscious. I am in charge of my mind, body, and time. Without structure, life shapes you according to the distractions and demands of others. Through ritual, you claim authority over your mental and emotional state. Each step, from movement to breath to conscious focus, strengthens this sovereignty. The mind learns to operate from intention rather than impulse. Repeatedly honoring your rituals build self-respect and internal authority. External challenges have less impact. When internal discipline governs your state, ritual trains the brain to respond with consistency, resilience, and clarity. Identity is not given, it is claimed through repeated daily commitment. The body remembers what the mind sometimes forgets. Through morning discipline, posture, movement, breath become extensions of character. A mind trained through ritual acts with decisiveness, confidence, and calm authority. Your nervous system begins to anticipate focus, discipline, and clarity daily. Rituals condition emotional response, sharpening the ability to handle stress and adversity. Even subtle practices, controlled breathing, stretching, hydration reinforce mental architecture. Consistency transforms small acts into permanent states of being. Your body becomes a reflection of the identity reinforced every morning. Character is built invisibly, silently, in moments few recognize as significant. Ritual imprints who you are before the world has a chance to define you. Rituals are also shields against chaos and distraction. When your morning is structured, external influence has less power over your decisions. Without this framework, your mind drifts, reactive to every notification, request, and impulse. Consistency fortifies attention, focus, and emotional regulation. Even when the day becomes overwhelming, your morning foundation holds. The nervous system learns predictability and efficiency, reducing stress response. Your mind develops immunity to chaos through repeated adherence to ritual. Every deliberate act builds resilience and reinforces internal order. The stronger your morning identity, the less susceptible you are to reactive weakness. Ritual is preparation, defense, and armor for the challenges that follow. The content you consume in the morning also shapes identity. What you read, listen to, and reflect on becomes the script your subconscious rehearses. Conscious input aligned with ritual reinforces a mind that acts decisively and clearly. Repetition of empowering ideas compound into automatic belief patterns. The brain mirrors consistent exposure and integrates it into thought, emotion, and action. Daily ritual and conscious input work together to sculpt character from the inside out. Those who neglect both fall prey to distraction and reactive emotional states. Those who honor them rise with clarity, focus, and purpose before the world awakens. Identity is reinforced through the synergy of habit, input, and awareness. Each morning, you choose the version of yourself who will walk into the day. The mind craves pattern, and ritual provides it. Without repeated structure, thoughts scatter, and decisions weaken. With deliberate habits, the brain learns efficiency, priority, and control. Even challenging actions become second nature when practiced consistently. Ritual transforms effort into identity and struggle into mastery. What is practiced daily ceases to be conscious effort. It becomes instinctive excellence. Each morning is a rehearsal for the person you intend to be. The more precise and intentional the ritual, the stronger the resulting identity. Consistency over time builds unshakable confidence and self-reliance. Through ritual, the mind, body, and spirit are aligned with purpose. Discipline in daily practice translates into resilience under pressure. Morning rituals reinforce that identity does not crumble under challenge. The brain learns to respond with calm, focus, and strategic thinking. Habits repeated without exception. Why? The nervous system for stability. Even external chaos cannot easily penetrate a mind built on internal order. Consistency builds an automatic sense of direction, clarity, and self-command. Ritual becomes the anchor that grounds thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Every repeated act strengthens the foundation upon which identity stands. The morning shapes not only the day, but the framework of character itself. Through daily practice, the self becomes disciplined, focused, and unbreakable. Ritual transforms small choices into grand outcomes over time. Every action, from stretching to reading to focused breath, compounds. The subconscious records these moments as evidence of capability and discipline. With repetition, the mind internalizes patterns of excellence and self-respect. Identity emerges silently, built through quiet consistency, not loud declarations. The person you intend to be becomes tangible through repeat adherence to ritual. Morning habits are invisible architects, sculpting character, resilience, and clarity. Discipline becomes a natural state, not a forced action. The brain learns to act from intention, not impulse. As habits solidify through daily ritual, identity is forged, strengthened, and aligned with purpose. Morning rituals also cultivate awareness of choice, responsibility. Each day, you decide which habits to honor and which to neglect. This conscious selection builds ownership of actions, thoughts, and emotions. Ritual reinforces that you are the author of your inner state. Repeated choices in alignment with purpose solidify the sense of sovereignty. The mind internalizes control and self-mastery. No matter external circumstances, habits practiced consciously become instinctive responses to challenge. Identity, once formed, directs attention, decision, and action automatically. The morning becomes a proving ground for the self, unseen but undeniable. Through repeated ritual, you shape who you are and who you will become.